Welcome to the Cisco Meeting App Foundation course. My name is Liz Hellier. This video will cover the operation of the Cisco Meeting app and provide you with some troubleshooting techniques. In order to get the most out of this video, I would recommend using the Cisco Meeting app at the same time as listening to the recording so you can familiarise yourself with the menus. At the end of this video, we will have covered the following areas. Describe the components of the Cisco Meeting solution. Locate the Cisco Meeting app software and documentation. Operate the Cisco Meeting app. Operate the Cisco Meeting app WebRTC. Connect a telepresence system or Skype for Business client to a Cisco Meeting app space. Install Cisco Meeting app. Resolve common Cisco Meeting app login problems. Resolve common Cisco Meeting app media problems. And download Cisco Meeting app logs. Let's get started.
Cisco Meeting App Introduction. The Cisco Meeting solution provides an enterprise with video conferencing, audio conferencing and web conferencing capabilities. Calls can be recorded and can interoperate with Skype for Business or Link endpoints or any standards-based video or audio device. The whole user experience can also be customized. Cisco Meeting app is an application for use on Windows, Mac and iOS devices. Cisco Meeting app functions as a video and audio client, provides access to conferences and chat rooms called spaces. Cisco Meeting app WebRTC is available for any user with a compliant web browser. Users can connect to the conferences as a guest or can log in as they would using the main apps. The Cisco Meeting app connects to the Cisco Meeting server. Users log into the apps using account credentials provided by an LDAP or Active Directory server. Any user without an account can only use the WebRTC app as a guest. The next video covers Cisco Meeting app documentation. Cisco Meeting app documentation. The documentation URL is shown on your screen. It is recommended you pause the video, put the URL into a web browser and save as a favourite before continuing. More information is being added to this page all the time. To get to the End User Guides, click on the End User Guides. As well as how-to guides, you will find the complete Cisco Meeting app user guide. At the time of making this recording, the FAQs are still located on the Acano website. Browse to https://kb.acano.com. Click on the down arrow underneath Learn More. You can put your question details in the search box or scroll down and click on a specific category. You can now see the specific FAQs relating to the category. Clicking on any FAQ will provide you with information on how to resolve the issue. If the specific issue isn't answered, you may find more information under related entries. The next video covers Cisco Meeting app operation. Cisco Meeting app operation. To log in, enter your username, which will consist of a name at a domain. Enter your password and click Sign In. The main app page will now open. To enter a space, click on the Spaces button at the top of the screen. Choose a space from the left-hand panel. The number 2 highlighted shows that there are 2 people already in this space. Click on the green button to enter the space. You will now be able to see and hear any other participants in the space. To mute your microphone, click on the microphone mute button at the top of the screen. Click again to unmute your microphone. Local video is visible by clicking on the tab at the left-hand side of the screen. Use your video mute button to mute your video. Use the same button again to unmute your video. click on the X to hide your local video. To record your conference, click on the Record button. To stop recording, click on the Stop button. To share your screen or an application, click on the Share Screen button. Select Desktop, or if you have an application open, you can select an individual application. To stop sharing, move your mouse to the top of the screen and use the Stop Sharing button from the tab that pops down. Another site is now sharing their screen. To change your layout, click on the More button at the top right corner. Select a layout option from the right-hand panel. Note that if you do not select a layout that includes presentation, you will no longer see the presentation from the other site. Let's select a layout with presentation. To leave a conference, click on the red Leave button. If you are a member of a space, you can send chat messages to other members both inside a call and outside a call. To send a chat message outside a call, first select the space from the left, then scroll down to the bottom and enter your chat message in the box. To use chat in a call, use the chat icon in the top right-hand corner. In the message box at the bottom of the screen, type in your message and click Enter. Click on the chat icon again to remove the chat panel. A red number by the chat icon indicates there is a new message. Click on the chat icon again to see the new message. Let's take a look at the difference between a guest and a member. A guest can only dial into a space using the URI or by clicking on a web link. They do not see the space on their left-hand panel. A guest can only see chat messages sent during the call. A guest can only mute themselves. A guest may or may not have a Cisco Meeting app login. If you create a space, then you are a member of that space. Chat is persistent and can continue even if nobody is in the call. Members' names are listed at the top of every space. Members can mute other participants. Any added members have the same rights as the person who created the space. Let's look at creating a new space. Click on the New Space button at the bottom left of the screen. Enter in a name for the space. As you enter in the space name, the video address for the space will also be created. This will be based on the space name, but cannot contain spaces, and has to be unique. To add a new member to the space, click in the second box down and start to type the member's name. Select the user from the list that appears. You can control access to the space by entering a passcode. Click Done to save the space. Any member will now have the space listed in their left-hand panel. However, any guests you wish to invite will require the invite information. Click on the invite box in the top right corner. Clicking on Email will open up your email client and paste in text ready to send. If you want to send the invite in any other way, just click on Copy Invitation and it selects the same text onto your clipboard. If you need to edit your space in any way, just select it from the left-hand side, then click the Edit box at the top right. Once a space has been created, it's no longer possible to change the video address of the space. However, we now have options for deleting the space and leaving the space. If you leave the space and other members are still in the space, then the space will continue to exist. You can also call somebody from a space. Click on the participants icon. Click on the Call button. You can either select a contact from the list below or start typing the name of somebody in the directory. You can select the user once they appear in the list below. If you are dialing somebody outside of the system, then you need to type in the full address. Another really useful tool is the ability to transfer your audio and video components of your call to your phone or a telepresence endpoint. To do this, click on the video icon box at the top of the screen. To transfer your audio and video to a video system, click on the Use Video System button. Enter in the video system address and click Connect. Let's take a look at a few more options inside a conference. Click on the More button. As well as changing our layout, the More button allows us to access a keypad which may be used for entering extensions or passcodes. The Info tab provides basic information on the call. So far we've only looked at the Spaces tab. Let's take a look at the People tab. The People tab allows us to have a local address book. To add a new contact, click on the New Contact button at the bottom left. Enter in the contact details for the user. Click on the Save button once complete. You can use the New Call button at the top left-hand corner to either call into a space you are not a member of or to call another user directly. Enter the space URI, video address or telephone number. Then click on the Call button. The next video will look at the Cisco Meeting App WebRTC client. Cisco Meeting App WebRTC. Cisco Meeting App WebRTC enables anyone with a compatible browser to join a conference without needing to download the app. Cisco Meeting App WebRTC is useful if someone doesn't have the app installed already or is unable to install the app due to security policies. Cisco Meeting App WebRTC can also be used if you are joining the conference as a guest and do not have a login. Chrome fully supports WebRTC. WebRTC support in Firefox is dependent on the version. Earlier versions may download a mini version of the client. At the time of making this recording, Internet Explorer, Safari and Opera do not support WebRTC and will download a mini version of the client. You are always recommended to use the latest version of any browser. To join a conference, you will need to know the URL specific to your organization. To join a call as a guest, click on Join Call. Enter in the call ID and passcode you received from the host. Click Continue. Enter your name and click Join Call. The operation of the Cisco Meeting App WebRTC is very similar to the other apps. If your URL looks like this, and not like this, then the call ID is embedded in the URL and you won't be prompted for it. If you have a Cisco Meeting App account, you can still sign in to the WebRTC client. Click Sign In. Enter your username, password and click Sign In. Your browser may ask you for use of your camera and microphone. Click Allow. Cisco Meeting App WebRTC in Chrome requires a Chrome extension in order to share your screen. Click Share Screen as normal. Click Get Extension. Click Add to Chrome. Click Add Extension. The required extension has now been added to your Chrome web browser. Navigate back to your Cisco Meeting app and refresh the screen before hitting Share Screen again. The next video will show you how to connect to a Skype for Business client or telepresence endpoint. Calling Microsoft Skype for Business, Link and telepresence endpoints. From Cisco Meeting app, you can call to any standards-based telepresence system, Microsoft Link and Microsoft Skype for Business clients. To make a new call, click on New Call. Enter the Skype for Business, Link or telepresence user address in the box. Then click the Call button. Calls to other devices, both inside and outside of your organisation, need to be configured on the back end, so may not work in your organisation. The next video will look at the installation of the Cisco Meeting app. Cisco Meeting app installation. There is a Cisco Meeting app for Windows, Mac and iPad and iPhone. Cisco Meeting app for Windows uses a Windows Smart Client. This enables the software to be upgraded automatically. Note that version 1.9.7 does not have a click-once installer and a manual upgrade will be required. Also, this version has no iOS version. To download the software, go to the web page you bookmarked earlier in the documentation section and click on Download Software. To download software from the Cisco website, you need to log in. Click Login. Enter in your username and password and click Login. Once you have logged in, you will be taken back to the download page. Click Download for the appropriate version of software. Next, accept the license agreement. Once the software has downloaded, double-click on the file to start the installation. The Meeting Setup window will now open. You will now need to read and accept the license agreement. Click Install. Click Finish to complete the installation. One problem you may come across is you need to add the cisco.com site to your trusted site list. How this is done will depend on your operating system. For a Windows operating system, you need to go to Internet Properties and Security and click on Trusted Sites. The next video will discuss potential login problems. Cisco Meeting app login issues. The most common cause of login problems is users entering an incorrect username and password. In this example, only the username is highlighted as incorrect. Generally, this means the app hasn't found the server and either the domain is wrong or the domain cannot be resolved. Cisco Meeting Server uses DNS or Domain Name System to translate a name, such as triacano.com in this case, to an IP address. A message is sent by the app to the local DNS server asking for the IP address of the XMPP service at the company domain. The DNS server responds with the IP address of the Cisco Meeting server. If you do not think your DNS is working, you can use an NSLOOKUP command in Microsoft Windows to determine the DNS records that are being sent back from the DNS server. A dig command can be used in a Mac operating system to achieve the same result. A certificate error may also prevent a customer from logging in. A certificate is provided to the app by the server to prove the server is legitimate. The certificate provider must be trusted by the computer running the Cisco Meeting app. If it isn't, then a warning is displayed. Another login failure may simply be a lack of network connection. To log in, the user must have a username and password in the LDAP or Active Directory server. Usually this is the same as your corporate username and password. Username and passwords are not stored in the Cisco Meeting server. The Cisco Meeting server checks usernames and passwords against an LDAP server every time you log in. This does mean If you change your corporate username and password, you will be changing your Cisco Meeting app username and password as well. The next video will cover media-related issues. Cisco Meeting app media issues. There are a number of settings on the app that can be used to change your audio and video settings. Click the Settings tab. If you have more than one microphone on your system, you can change which microphone is being used by the Cisco Meeting app by clicking on the down arrow next to the microphone settings. You can also change the speaker that's being used, and test the audio. You can also change which camera is being used. Depending on the capabilities of the camera, there are video settings you can tweak. Click on the Video Settings button. Adjustments that your camera doesn't support will be grayed out. Generally speaking, you can leave all of these as default values. Click on the Camera Control button for more settings. Click OK to exit. To access more settings, click on the More Settings button. The first tab has some preferences you may wish to change. These will differ slightly on a Mac. Click on the Advanced tab. The most important setting here is the bandwidth setting. Reducing the bandwidth can improve video quality in situations where overall bandwidth is limited. This setting only affects the video bandwidth between you and the server. The settings also enable you to change the CPU load used by your computer. Normal quality is usually fine, but if you have a particularly slow PC, you could drop it down, or if you wanted to increase the video quality as much as possible, you could take it back up. When you have finished, click Close. Audio and video settings can also be changed on your computer. In a Windows environment, these settings are in the Control Panel. For sound, go to Control Panel, Hardware and Sound, Manage Audio Devices. Here, under the Recording and Playback tabs, you can adjust your microphone and speakers. Similar settings are available on a Mac by pressing the Apple button and going to System Preferences. If you are using the WebRTC app, make sure you have allowed access to your camera and microphone by your browser. Any network traffic can be subject to packet loss and network delays. These issues are far more obvious when sending real-time data such as voice and video. If you are experiencing network issues, you will notice the quality of your video drop and you may see a message on screen. You can send diagnostics if you wish to. Clicking on the Send Diagnostics button will save a file on the server that can be reviewed by the server team. In most cases, lowering your bandwidth will resolve the issue. The most important thing to understand when you are dealing with a media-related problem is where the problem is. If you are receiving poor video from all parties, the chances are the problem is your end and you need to drop your bandwidth. If you are receiving poor video from only one party, then they probably need to look at their connection to the server. The same principles apply to audio. If you can hear one site but not the other, the chances are the site you can't hear has their microphone muted. If you can't hear either side, then it may be your speakers or headset. Lighting plays a key part in picture quality. Just closing the blinds in the image would have made such a difference. Try to take calls in a quiet place, but if this isn't possible, use a headset. The next video will show you how to take a log. Cisco Meeting app logs. As discussed in the previous example, sometimes you will see a message on screen asking you to send diagnostics. Usually this is when you have a poor network connection. Click on Send Diagnostics. The file is automatically saved to the server, so you will need to raise a case to have somebody take a look at it for you. You can create a local diagnostic log at any time. Click on Settings. Click on Diagnostics. Enter in a description of the fault. Click Save. Save the file to your local machine and then attach it to your support case. The same process can be used when using the Cisco Meeting App WebRTC client. Again, click Settings and click Diagnostics. With the WebRTC client, a new tab will open and the diagnostic information displayed below. You will need to copy and paste this information into your trouble ticket. If you are asked for advanced diagnostics, enter the URL highlighted on screen into another tab in your browser. Again, you will need to add this information to your trouble ticket. If requested by your support team, you can also click on the Get User Media Requests. This information should also be added to your trouble ticket. In the unlikely event that the app crashes, you will find a core dump.dmp file on your computer which can be sent to support. These files are in the locations shown depending on the operating system. The next video will recap what you have learnt in this course.
We have now reached the end of the Cisco Meeting App Foundation class. If you want to learn more about the Cisco Meeting solution, you can sign up to the Cisco Meeting Server Intermediate and Cisco Meeting Server Advanced classes. Just search for these classes on the Cisco Learning Locator or browse to www.cisco.com/go/CLS and select Collaboration from the right-hand menu. Let's just recap what we have covered in this course. You are now able to describe the components of the Cisco Meeting solution, find the documentation for the Cisco Meeting app, operate the Cisco Meeting app, operate the Cisco Meeting app WebRTC, make calls to other conferencing endpoints, including Skype for Business endpoints and telepresence endpoints, install the Cisco Meeting app, resolve common login problems, resolve common media issues, and download log files. Thank you for joining us.